starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Drop Zone Podcast with your boys Anthony Young and Jeff Walsh. How you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good. Another week of the NFL season in the books, and another weird week it was, for sure. But I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Feeling better.
That's good. That's what I was like to hear, is that you're feeling a lot better, getting a bit healthier.
Ah, so what we got for on the agenda today?
And go over a bunch of games, because again, it's been a very weird week again. A lot of teams losing, and a lot of our team's winning at least. That's what matters. But then we'll do the pick'ems. There was a firing uh this Sunday already, and it wasn't a coach that we expected to be fired uh mid-season. I don't think that was in our prediction of coaches being fired this season, but he was fired. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, luckily, the first game we get to talk about is your New York Football Giants. They played Thursday night, and they whooped the Eagles' ass, 17-34, in New York. Um, I love, having a podcast and having a way to speak my mind on sports, and I like when I'm right. I've been saying for a while now that this Eagles team is not that good,
I
and
think
they're
as
showing
well.
it, and they're showing it. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that great. They had to run a tush push 4 times just to get him in the end zone, which was disgusting. Oh, well, here he is. Jason.
What up, Jason?
Um, Hurts 24 for 33, 283, one touchdown, one interception. He also had one touchdown rushing. That was that tush push that they ran 4 times in a row. Saquon 12 carries, 58 yards. No touchdown again. Dallas Goedert averaged 110 yards and touchdown. AJ Brown, hey, there you go. Congrats, buddy. You got 6 for 80 yards. Hope he's happy. Jackson Dart, 1725, 195, one touchdown. He also had a touchdown rushing. Cam Scatabo, what a game he had on Thursday Night Football. 19 carries, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Wandale also got a receiving touchdown. Again, this Giants team, it's hit its stride now. Again, they laid a dud against the Saints, which is okay. That again, they're a very young team. They came off a very high of winning against the Chargers, and they just had a down game, and then they come in on a short week play on Thursday Night Football, and they destroy the Eagles. I'm excited to hear your take and your thoughts on this game. 'Cause again, it is your Giants, and it always feels good to beat the Eagles. Uh, so what's your thoughts on this game, Tony?
Well, as you can see, I'm in the office today.
Hmm.
There was no need for me to go in the locker room today. Um, the first half did have me a little nervous because it was a close first half. The second half, I did not expect that in the second half to hold them to no points at all in the second half. The defense was flying all over the place. Uh, Burns, Flott, those two. I mean, Flott first of all with the interception when the Eagles was threatening and to take it almost all the way back, and then Burns his ability to chase down Jalen Hurts is just amazing. The defense was fired up. Um, the one issue that I did have, well, that was a few. The first one was one I believe it was the second push to that stupid push attempt where the Eagles was clearly lined up offsides and no flag was thrown. I mean, that play has to go. Secondly, how you gonna call a taunting penalty on Scatterboo for running past the defender and saying first down, but then in the Chiefs game when Patrick Mahomes scores, he's rubbing down his jersey, flexing, and that's not a taunting penalty. I know we're gonna get into that a little bit later, but the way the games are being officiated, it's like, okay, you're calling a taunting penalty for somebody who just ran by and all he said was first down. How was that taunting? But overall, I was pleased with the way they played. Um, those two, their energy is just contagious, and you can see when Dart got hurt and Russell Wilson came in, you could just feel. I mean, even though we're watching it on TV, you could just feel the atmosphere change, and the fact that they cut to the sideline and showed Dable getting kicked out of the blue tent, Scatterwood getting kicked out of the blue tent, a couple other players getting kicked out of the blue tent, and then they show Dable and the doctor arguing. Um, yeah, that just shows how much they love having Dart as the starting quarterback and the energy that he brings. And it was just, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't even pulled Russell Wilson from the start, second string quarterback, and put Jameis Winston yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you mentioned about the refs. We would definitely talk about them when we get to that Chiefs game, because that was abysmal. Again, I don't want to say too much now because it'll ruin later. Um, again, that taunting call was really bad, was bullshit. I mean, he was letting the other player know that it was first down. You know that's pretty much all he was doing. But yeah, I wanted to ask you about the whole Russ thing. You know, I don't like rubbing it in people's faces. Dart, I was saying for him to start a while ago, and again, you now see the energy, you feel the energy when you watch them play. It's like just so different. It's so lively that offense and that whole team actually in general, like you were saying, the defense was flying around all over the field. Uh, and the energy in the stadium, I watched it back. You can tell that it like left as soon as Russ went in the game. And the one pass that he threw was like 10 yards short
Nowhere.
in the dirt, and he got booed off the field. Daboll, I know at the beginning of the year I predicted it to be the first head coach fire this year. Um, I like his fieriness about him sometimes, but I think he handled this whole medical situation with Dart a bit not good. You don't really yell at the head athletic trainer or the team doctor especially about a concussion issue, because that's something that the NFL takes very, very seriously right now. Um, we don't need anybody going out there if they're really concussed. I understand that Dart is kind of saving his ass right now. Whether he likes to want to believe it or not, Dart is really saving his job at the moment. Um, and maybe he does realize that, and that's why he was so scared to have Russell go back out there. If you don't like Russ being out there, then put Jameis Winston in the game.
So to comment on that, he did after he on during the press conference, he did bring that up, and he did apologize because it gave he wasn't yelling at the um, trainer. He was trying to find out if how much longer he was going to be in the blue tent because what he wanted to do was if he was going to come back out, he was going to burn a timeout so they could put him on back on the field. So he was trying to find out how much longer he was going to be in the blue tent. And yes, I mean, like I said, it did look bad. And again, because surprisingly, the mics wasn't close enough for us to catch the conversation. But the fact that he was animated is what made it look worse. And like again, he did apologize and he did explain why he was animated with the doctor. And I mean, to some point, I can understand. If he's going to come back out, it's 4th and 2. Yeah, I mean, I would have done the same. I would have burned the timeout just to get him back on the field. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and because that didn't happen, that's what even made it look even worse. Was because
Mm.
Dart didn't come out until after the fourth down punt occurred. So, but other than that, I mean, I had no real issue with it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a head coach and if I want to know when my quarterback's gonna be back on the field too. So, but yeah, the way he was so animated, and the fact that he already got kicked out of the blue tent made it even look made it worse than what it really was.
And like I say, whatever situation, obviously in the heat of the moment, we're not head coaches, so we're not really in that situation. But there's definitely a good way and a bad way to handle it. That's all I'm saying. Again, because it made it, like you said, look a lot worse than what it needed to be. And I'll talk about the Eagles and their offense, and I mean honestly, just the whole team in general, because their defense isn't what we expected it to be this year. Um, I understand that they struggled at the beginning of last year with Kellen Moore in their head, as their offensive coordinator, but this just feels different. Uh, they feel
Keep
they,
going.
they
Keep going. My laptop just fell.
that scared me for a second. Um, something feels different. They don't seem in sync at all. Um, that they're saying that they had an offensive meeting. AJ Brown's like, I didn't go to no meeting. I didn't. There was a meeting. It just
Yeah, that.
like Lane Johnson saying that their offense is too predictable. Uh,
Well, I
I'm sorry.
mean, basically, it is.
I mean, I just saw a graphic before I got on. I think Saquon has a total of 450 some odd yards rushing total. Enrico Dowdle, the backup running back for the Carolina Panthers, who started these past 2 weeks, has 463 yards in the past two games. Um, Something needs to be done. I mean, Saquon only carrying the ball 12 times. Last week against the Broncos as well, he didn't touch the ball barely at all. They need to figure it out. Man, this feels different. They start off 4-0, but like I kept saying, they could have been 1-5 easily because again, game one, CeeDee Lamb didn't catch the ball those three times, which could have led to a different outcome. Against the Rams, I understand that they had a great comeback to beat the or to come back in that game, but then they blocked 2 field goals, which is a anomaly. Against the Bucks, Baker threw a late game interception, but they still didn't look good in that game. So they could definitely lost a lot of these games that they ended up winning, and now they're really showing that they're not as good as we think they are, and I think it's gut check and reality time for them. That they got to get it going here, or they're just gonna keep slipping farther down. And yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts on the Eagles and their offense and what a joke it's been
Um,
really right now. Because
well,
there was a graphic on ESPN where they've been outgained by negative 460 yards this season. That is 28th in the NFL. That's really, really bad. You're not gonna win like that.
yeah, the offense, like I said, the offense is very predictable. I mean, you know they're going to basically run Saquon. Um, Defensively, they're just like I said. When you have 10 players from your championship team not return, yeah, that's going to be a huge difference. And now that Zadarius Smith announces retirement, that's another defensive player that they're losing that they lost. And this team is just I'm not gonna lie, I'm really shocked if this team actually makes the playoffs.
I mean, I think they'll make it, but I think it won't be a great game whoever they face. Zadarius Smith, I do want to comment on that. I don't want to be negative or too offensive to what I'm about to say, but if they won these last 2 games, I guarantee he don't retire.
It's a possibility.
But just because it's just going bad, he's gonna retire. It could be something else underlying, but he hasn't really made a statement about anything about his health or his well-being or what his intention was to retire. I'm just saying, if you really thought about if you really thinking about retiring, why would you even sign with the Eagles then? Oh, that was because you wanted to just get a championship ring, and now see it's not really turning out too well, and just you're gonna retire.
Pretty much.
Again, I don't want to be that mean or too offensive in that because there could be something underlying, but he hasn't said nothing, so that just makes me think he's trying to just
He's ring
almost
chasing.
yeah, almost just take the easy way out, and because he doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. All right, that was the first game again. Your Giants on the rise, man, but this week it's like a gauntlet in your schedule. You guys beat one good team. Here you go. Here's another good team. You guys faced the Denver Broncos, who is the next team that we're going to talk about because they played in London. This game was a snooze fest, but I found this game pretty funny. I was watching it after I got home from work. Bo Nix. This Broncos team is really confusing me. They will have a really good kind of game, and but I mean they struggled against the Eagles for about 3.5 quarters, and then they finally turned around in the fourth quarter, and then that's how they beat the Eagles, 2 weeks ago. And now this game in London was pretty boring. It was not fun to watch. Bo Nix, 19 for 30, 174 yards, and 1 touchdown. He also had 24 rushing yards. J.K. Dobbins only had 40 rushing yards, and Evan Ingram had 42 receiving yards. That is it. That is it. And Justin Fields, he went 19 for 7. He went 19 for 70 and finished with negative 10 passing yards. He had 31 rushing yards. Brees Hall, 22 carries, 59 yards. And Josh Reynolds, 3 receptions for 25 yards. Uh,
My question. as an NFL team, how do you finish with minus passing yards?
Having an abysmal offensive line that is undisciplined and a quarterback, which again I love Fields. I really hope I I wish that the situation was going bad for him because I really do hate the way that we handled our situation with him last year. But he holds on to the ball way too
And
long, and gets sacked over and over and over again.
I get that, but again, when you're passing the ball, you're throwing forward. There should be no excuse for you to have minus 10 passing yards. I don't care if you're throwing screens all day. You still should be at least positive passing yards.
He had all right. So in total, it was
Yes, I know sack goes against passing yards,
yeah, like
but
he had
again,
45.
yes, he was sacked
Yeah,
9 times. But again, you're still throwing the ball forward.
yeah, no, he had 45 yards passing, and then minus 55 yards on all the sacks. So that's how we got to negative 10 passing yards. But if you throw in his 31 rushing yards, he ended the game with 21 total yards of offense. That's 21 more total yards than me and you and Jason and all of his fans that were there in London contributed. This Jets team, 0-6, the only team that's 0-6. The Titans should be 0-6 as well. Um, we will talk about them a little bit too. But this is not the team that I expected. Um, I
What, the
expected them to
Jets or
be
Broncos?
both a little bit. I expected the Broncos to kind of handily win this game, and they didn't. It was 13-11. It was again, this team is very confusing me right now. I mean, their defense is elite, like we expected them to be. Their run defense is not top tier. It's just the Jets' offensive line sucks, and they couldn't block for Breece Hall. Um, and the offense on the Broncos side is very up and down. It's not consistent. They had a good first drive there to get in the end zone, but after that, it just kind of died. There was no real flow and movement to that offense, but that defense really carried them, which is a good thing. And hopefully next week it gets better for them. But the Jets is my main focus here. 0-6, like I said. I think in my prediction video that we did, I had them maybe at 6 wins, 6, 7 wins, because I do think Justin Fields is a good QB, and I really do hope the best for him and again how he handled the situation. But um, no, I'm trying to read the comment that Jay just put. Yeah, I'm not saying that Nick's is the problem with the offense. I'm just saying that it's very inconsistent right now for a team that kind of I expected to be a lot better on the offensive side of the ball. But the Jets, this is abysmal. This is terrible. I'm sure you saw the two-minute drive they had at the end of the first half, where they pretty much just let the clock run out. There was like no trying.
I don't know if it's bad play calling or just a bad offense, period.
I don't know if he's talking about the Broncos or the Jets because he just mentioned Bo Nix. So, but
I'm thinking he's referring to
uh,
the Jets.
like I think so. But yeah, that 2-minute drive and they just let the clock run out from about 40 seconds down to zero was something I've never seen. There was just no energy, no effort. They didn't even care to really even try and win this game. So yeah, I'll turn over to you if you have any thoughts on these two teams and the joke of a Jets season it's been already.
Not really.
They're having Nick's. Yeah, see, he is talking about the Broncos. He's having Nick's roll right almost every play. They aren't using the entire field. Yeah, Sean Payton needs to kind of do a bit better on the play calling side of that. Uh, but again, maybe they're just in a rough stretch. A bunch of these teams this year are just kind of hitting a rough patch in the season already, and hopefully they turn around. All right, then my Steelers, we beat the Browns 9-23. Yeah, I think everyone that was watching that game almost fell asleep watching it, even the announcers. Um, Browns and Steelers 9-23. Dylan Gabriel. Again, he's playing a very tough defense, but I don't know if Kevin Stefanski really understood that throwing the ball 52 times with a rookie quarterback is not very smart.
No.
221 passing yards. He only ran the ball 12 times with Quinton Duncan for 36 yards. And Harold Fannin Jr., 7 receptions for 81 yards, was their leading receiver. Aaron Rodgers, 21 for 30, 235, 2 touchdowns. Jaylen Warren had 52 rushing yards. DK Metcalf found the end zone again. 9 receptions for 95, sorry, 4 receptions for 95 yards and touchdown. And Darnell Washington, our big tight end, had 3 receptions for 62 yards. I'm very happy that we won. We're winning games right now that we need to be winning and that we should be winning, which is not always the Steelers' way. It definitely doesn't help with the quarterbacks that we've had in the past. Coach has a problem with the Jets too. There's a culture problem. Your superstar receiver Young as a coach on international series bad. Yeah, with Garrett Wilson, he hurt his ankle, I think, and he'll be out a few weeks. I think they said. Um, Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel, he needs some help. That offensive line is not great. Again, just that whole offense isn't great. The play calling wasn't good this game. Again, 52 passing attempts for a rookie quarterback. I don't think it's going to ever work. But on the Steelers side, as a Steelers fan, I'm very happy that, again, we are winning these games that we need to be winning, that we should be winning. To be 4-1 in our division, whether the Bengals are very beat up and the Ravens are very beat up and the Browns they're the Browns right now. I hate that people.
Well, the Ravens are more
Okay,
than just beat up. The
oh yeah,
Ravens,
they
the
are.
Ravens lost their identity.
Oh yeah, they're dead. But I really like the Get Up crew. I can't stand watching First Take anymore, but I will
Neither
watch
can I.
I I can watch them. I can watch the Get Up crew because they have a lot more knowledge on the game and stuff than what Stephen A does. He just yells at the TV or just yells at the screen and thinks he has a logical point. Whereas the Get Up crew is more knowledgeable. But I hate that when Aaron Rodgers does, again, he's doing what he is there to do, manage the offense. But if the Steelers lost, say, against the Patriots and against the Vikings, all right, and we're or yeah, 2-3. I don't know. I don't watch Good Morning Football. I watch Get Up on ESPN. I can't stand First Take with Cam Newton and fucking
Yeah, I used to love First Take. I can't
Stephen
stand
A.
it
Smith.
anymore either.
I can't either. So, but it's crazy that again, if Rodgers loses a few of these games, they would the entire week long. I know from Monday to Friday, shit on him for losing these games. But the Steelers are winning these games, and I saw today that they were like, well, the offense doesn't look that good, and the defense isn't what we really thought it was going to be. We got to see when they play higher caliber teams. But then when we talk about the Eagles, they talk about the Eagles right ahead of that. Oh, well, they got to find their footing. It's a new season. Where's the same respect and the same thought process when it comes to Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers? Hello. The last I checked, the Eagles have the same QB, the same running back, the same two wide receivers, the same tight end, and mostly the same offensive line that they've had for a while now. Other than Saquon, obviously, he's a bit newer. I understand new offensive coordinator. But when you look at the Steelers, we have new QB, new wide receiver, and a very young offensive line.
New running backs.
And yeah, a new running back, and Kenneth Gainwell, Jalen Warren. He has been there in the system, but again, everything is new. But we're winning and without really a problem. But they want to say, "Oh, it doesn't look like we think it's going to." No shit. Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old, but he's doing what he needs to be doing. He's managing the game. If we have Mason Rudolph starting this year, I guarantee we are probably
Oh,
2-3.
6.
I will say 2-3. I say we win against the Browns here, but this game is a lot closer. And we win.
I wouldn't have won that Jets game.
No, we wouldn't have put up that many points. We probably lose to the Jets. We lost to the Seahawks, even with Aaron Rodgers. We definitely lose to the Patriots. And the Vikings game is a toss up. I don't know if we win that game. So that's why I'm saying 2-3. But with Aaron Rodgers, we're 4-1. And again, if he was doing bad every week that they lost, or when he lost, when he was on the Jets, they talked about it from Monday to Friday, burying his name in the ground. Aaron Rodgers sucks. Aaron Rodgers too old. Aaron Rodgers can't do it. Aaron Rodgers can't do it. But then when he's winning, it's like they still shit on him. Oh, he's not looking good. He's not looking good. He's doing what he is being paid to do right now on the Steelers. Control the offense and win us games. That's my little rant. It's not even on the Steelers this week. I'm happy that we keep winning. You know, we need to keep stacking up these wins right now. And I fully believe in Aaron Rodgers and this offense that it'll keep getting better. Week by week, it's look better and better and better each week. So, again, that's just my little rant on the kind of ESPN industry right now that they just love to shit on Aaron Rodgers for almost no reason. You know, when he does good, they still shit on him. When he does bad, they will shit on him even more. So that's just my thoughts.
Truthfully speaking, um, I was more concerned about the defense with all the new parts. I wasn't concerned about the offense because I knew it was just going to be an Aaron Rodgers typical offense where he's just going to manage the game at his age, not turn the ball over, and not put his defense in a bad situation. I was concerned about the because the defense didn't look all that great the first couple of games, and they're starting to get together. And of course, Ramsey got is hurt, is banged up and stuff. But I mean, what we see from the offense is what exactly is what I expected. So I don't know. Yeah, well, Stephen A. Smith just has that love hate relationship with Aaron Rodgers, which is why I can't stand watching First Take anymore because he contradicts himself every other day.
Hmm. Yeah, we definitely need to run the ball better and be able to stop the ball. You could tell when he like tries to debate someone with knowledge that he has people look up all the stats for him,
Oh,
and
of
he
course.
doesn't watch the games. Because when he goes up against like Ryan Clark, or I love when JJ Redick was there when the NBA season was around and JJ Redick wasn't head coach, when he would absolutely flame Stephen A. Smith every single debate that they did, because you could tell he doesn't watch. He just he'll laugh at the Cowboys losing and then scream about how bad somebody was, and without actually doing any stats and looking anything up.
Well, I think the Cowboy games he actually watches.
Yeah, that's the only games that he watches, but then everything else his team look him up and to be able to scream at the TV or at the camera. Um, but yeah, sorry, you can go ahead on the if any more thoughts on the game and the Brown Steelers.
Oh no, I said what I had to say.
Mm, yeah, 110 rushing yards allowed per game is yeah, I know. We need to stop the run as well. And like me me and you talk about Jay at work on Monday. We do allow a lot of yards, but then we're very opportunistic in the turnover situations and to when we stop people. That's that's our defense right now, but I do think that it'll get better as the season goes along.
They have a bend
Um,
don't break type of defense.
hmm
They'll bend, but once you get inside that 20, it becomes hard to score.
hmm Yeah, again, but I have confidence in this team being led by Mike Tomlin and a bunch of vets in that locker room. I think that we'd be all right and that we just keep continuing to win. All right, Jay, your Colts. Whew, what a close game this was against the Arizona Cardinals. They had no James Conner, no Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. He left the game with a concussion. A lot of injuries on that Cardinals side, but obviously a lot of injuries on the Colts side, and we will talk about that in a little bit. I don't know if you saw what happened to uh, Jay's guy Anthony Richardson pregame. He I don't know if you heard about it, but he was he was warming up with the stretch bands, and it popped, and he hit himself in the eye or in the face with the band, and he fractured his orbital bone
Good lord.
in his face. And
That's your
that
guy,
wasn't even
Jay.
the and that wasn't even the only pregame injury for the Colts. Cornerback Travarius Ward collided with tight end Drew Ogletree in warmups and suffered a concussion and didn't play. So there was two Colts pretty much taken to the hospital before the game even started.
Good lord.
And back to the game. Cardinals could be Jacoby Brissett is who started this game. And talk about defense, Jay. Your defense ain't looking too good either. You let Jacoby Brissett throw for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception.
Yeah,
Bam
how?
Knight, that's like their fourth string running back. You got a touchdown. Sorry, I interrupted you. You can go ahead.
No, I was about to say, how do you almost get beat by Jacoby Brissett
I don't know.
with no James Conner and Harrison getting a concussion? That just okay.
I understand there's thing as a revenge game, Jay, but you want to talk about my Steelers defense. Your Colts defense is almost a bit similar. You guys will you guys are very opportunistic on the defense side of the ball. I understand you guys are down corners. Did you know that Ashton Dulin, their wide receiver, played a snap on defense as
That
a
I did not.
corner? He played as a corner. That's how down bad they are in the secondary right now.
Well, they can't be no worse than the Lions. We'll get to that in a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. Trey McBride found the end zone, 8 receptions for 72 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him, he's playing good. He's not a great quarterback, but he's good. Because here's the thing, the Colts are using him wisely. They are not putting the whole offense on his back. They have a workhorse running back that they're letting that do. Daniel Jones went 22 for 30, 212, 2 touchdowns and interception. He also had another rushing touchdown. That's his fourth touchdown this year. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 123 yards and touchdown. Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end, has been sensational this year. 6 for 63 yards and touchdown. And Josh Downs caught a receiving touchdown as well.
So I will say I will upgrade Daniel Jones from a below average quarterback to a slightly above average quarterback.
You're not saying he's good yet?
Huh?
You're not saying that he's a good quarterback yet?
No. Those words would never come out of my fucking mouth.
What if he makes it to the AFC Championship?
He'll be upgraded to a semi good quarterback.
I mean, who would have thought that the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers would be 1-2 in the AFC 6 weeks in the season? Yeah. Again, I like that Jay said that. He's good. He does what he needs. He is doing what he needs to be doing on this team.
For now.
The Colts aren't asking him to do too much. He had another reception, but they still won the game. Again, this game was a lot closer than what it needed to be, and I hope this isn't a bad sign for the Colts. I understand that they won, but okay, you're going against a team that was starting Jacoby Brissett. I mean, it was down to like their fourth string running back, and their star wide receiver went out.
Yeah, that I'm not gonna
Well,
blame on Jones. That's a defensive thing.
Yeah, but again, this is the same defensive coordinator that came from the Bengals, which we shit on week after week after week last year, and how bad the defense was. Yes, Jay, I know. I know. I never said that. You said that he was great, and I don't think I'll ever say that he's great either. But I will admit he is a good quarterback right now. He is playing good football.
Which is why I said, the fact that I'm not holding this against Daniel Jones because he played good. Your defense, there should have been no way in hell this game should have been close. Not against Joey Brissett, a fourth string running back, and their big play wide receiver out with a concussion. There's no excuse for that.
And I understand they have a lot that the Colts have a lot of injuries in the secondary. They were, like they said, they're playing practice squad, cornerbacks, and again they had wide receiver in there at safety or at a cornerback at one point. But at a certain point, your pass rushers have to get to Jacoby.
Whew.
Whew. You guys couldn't stop Jacoby Brissett, and you guys gotta stop Herbert now. Oh boy, enjoy that one. All right. Again, another good win for the Colts, but again, just gotta a lot closer of a game than what it needed to be. And again, now here we go. The Titans. I don't think we really talked about the Titans at all this year, or the Raiders, because these two teams have sucked. Um, if you're a fan of either one of these teams, I apologize. If you watched this
I'm not
game, I
apologizing.
apologize. I apologize.
I'm not apologizing.
You need to pick a different team. Um, if you really think that these teams are going to be anything, uh, you're on some good stuff. Uh, yeah, Jonathan Taylor can go play defense. At that point, you guys might as well just send him out there. Cam Ward, he went 26 for 38, 222, one touchdown reception. Tony Pollard, only 34 rushing yards. Van Jefferson, yes, Van Jefferson, the guy who was on the Steelers last year, 4% for 75 yards. And after the game, Titans fired head coach Brian Callahan, who finished his tenure with the Titans with a whopping 4-19 record as the head coach. And the Titans have already named senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy as interim head coach. I don't want to jump too quick on the Cam Ward, what I tell you. About, again, a rookie quarterback. I don't like it. I don't like rookie quarterbacks. They scare me, unless they're Jackson Dart. They do worry me.
But
Having them start on,
in his defense, I mean, look what he's playing with.
yeah, I know, but
When
it's
your best offensive weapon is Tony Pollard, you have issues.
mm, hopefully maybe this new head coach or this elevated head coach helps him out. But this Titans team, again, like I said, should be 0-6, but the Cardinals literally dropped the ball in that game against them. No pun intended, or the pun was intended. That idiot dropped the ball before crushing the goal line, and the whole momentum of that game switched. So that's how the Titans got their only win of the season. And on the Raiders side, Geno Smith, he stuck another interception, man. He has now 10 interceptions this season. He is playing like absolute dog shit. He only 17 for 23, 124 yards and touchdown. Ashton Jeanty, the rookie running back, he's looking a bit better game by game, 22 carries for 75 yards and touchdown. And Michael Mayer, their backup tight end, got a touchdown because Brock Bowers was out with a knee injury, so he was out for another game, which definitely hurts their offense. Again, this head coaching firing I didn't really see coming. But I saw something on Twitter that this is the fourth straight number when there's a number one overall QB picked to have their head coach fired mid-season. In 2021, it was Trevor Lawrence with the Jags, and Urban Meyer, I think it was, who got fired mid-season. The second one I can't remember, but then last year with Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus got canned mid-season with how bad he was. So, again, we did the predictions. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, and that's their own fault. And guess what? They play the Patriots this week. So, that's timing for you. Again, Titans fire head coach Brian Callahan. We did not expect really that at the beginning of the season, but shit happens. Shit happens. So, over to you.
I really got nothing. Callahan getting fired wasn't a surprise. It just happened faster than we expected.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that team itself is just, and Geno Smith. He must have been practicing with Jameis Winston and throwing interceptions because he's looked horrible.
Yeah, he is very bad. Yeah, McDaniel should be next. The Dolphins are imploding on themselves. Um, that I didn't even want to even talk about the third game, and I'm not going to. Oh, and the other number overall pick was Bryce Young, with the Panthers, and they fired Frank Reich midway through his season. So that is the fourth straight number one overall pick QB taken that as their head coach fired. 2021 Trevor Lawrence, 2023 Bryce Young, 2024 Caleb Williams, and then this year with Cam Ward and the Titans. And now the controversial game of the week. We will go into now. Sunday night football. Lions and Chiefs. Or I should say Lions versus the Chiefs and the refs. Because the Chiefs had 0 penalties called on them. Yes, everyone, you heard that right. In a 60-minute game of football, they had zero penalties called on them. And the Lions had, I don't even know how many penalties called on them. But Jared Goff, 23 for
More than
29,
zero.
yeah, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, a very costly one. They ran a great trick play, but just because Jared Goff didn't get himself set when he stepped back to start running as a wide receiver, it got called back, but it took them like a minute or two to be like, oh yeah, we should throw a flag on this one. Gibbs had 65 rushing yards. Dave Montgomery only had 24. James Williams had 66 receiving yards and a touchdown. Samuel Laporta had 55 receiving yards and a touchdown. And there was a fight after the game. Cornerback safety Brian Branch has been suspended 1 game for after game altercation with Juju Smith-Schuster, which, even though Juju's a former Steeler, even though Juju's a former Steeler, he deserves it. Because there was a play where it was a run play, and Juju hit a crackback block on Brian Branch, literally shoved him in the back and like pushed him to the ground when Branch wasn't looking, to where Branch definitely could have gotten hurt. And as you said, later in this game, Patrick Mahomes is going in for a rushing touchdown. Brian Branch could have absolutely leveled him and gotten a flag, but no, he pulled up, and as you said, Mahomes then got up, bumped him, spun the ball, flexed, did this, and ran away. So he pretty much taunted Brian Branch about 4 times, and not a single flag was on the field for taunting. And Brian Branch, after,
but yet the NFL
sorry,
is supposed to be cracking down on taunting.
Yeah, and you're gonna tell me all officials didn't see it? That's bullshit. And again, Cam Scottivo got flagged 15 yards for saying first down, but then the all-worldly Patrick Mahomes didn't get flagged when he taunted Brian Branch 4 times. Gotcha. The Chiefs are back along with the help of the officials. I'm not going to say that they're back yet because having 0 penalties with the offensive lineman that jumps off sides almost every fucking play and gets a holding call every fucking play, you're going to tell me in a primetime Sunday night football game when the Chiefs are about to go down to 2-4 that they're not going to get a single penalty called? That's bullshit. Roger, do a better job of hiding it next time, please, because it's a bit too obvious now that Mahomes. Oh, It's getting very frustrating. It's getting very frustrating because we know what's going on, we see what's going on,
See,
and
I not to cut you off, but I knew what was going to happen the minute that Kelsey made a play, and they immediately went to that bitch.
mhm.
I knew right then and there. I was like, yep. The Chiefs are going to win this because now they got her on TV constantly. And it was about 4 or 5 times they showed her on the TV. I was like, oh, here we go.
And Jay, check back on that comment. They are not a disciplined team. They are not. Again, that offensive lineman, I don't care what the fuck his name is. He jumps off sides.
Yeah, he 4 starts every single time.
He false starts. He holds. He does a bunch of. They're not disciplined. I don't know. They are not. And for Patrick Mahomes to do what he did in the end zone, taunted Brian Branch 4 times and didn't get called once, it's blatantly obvious. You are gonna tell me that they didn't hold on defense 1 time, they didn't pass interference on defense 1 time, they didn't do anything on defense 1 time, and again, that offensive lineman and the taunting, they didn't do it once. Oh wait, we saw that happen. We saw it, but they didn't call it. Because Roger Goodell is like, wait, we can't have my holy saving grace Patrick Mahomes go down 2-4 and on the season. Oh my God, we can't let that happen. We have to have him at 500.
Well, I mean, there's holding on every play. That's a fact. But I mean, some of them is blatant. Some of them, yeah, you can get away with. But the fact that they had zero penalties, come on now. Let's be realistic about this.
Yeah, no team is that disciplined to commit 0 penalties. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. There's not a single team that is that disciplined to not commit a single penalty.
The
That's not
full start,
true.
the right
They
tackle,
did
full starts every single fucking play.
that is not true because if he was that well coached, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have done that in the end zone to Brian Branch, guaranteed. But no, it has nothing to do with coaching right now. Nothing to do with it. They are not disciplined. It's just the refs aren't calling it. They're just not. They're
I've never seen a Bill Belichick team go a game without at least one penalty.
like if they had 2 or 3, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. But zero penalties is crazy.
Especially when you get a right tackle that full starts every single play. Before the ball is snapped, he's going backwards. And
hmm
that's a full start every single time.
I'm looking this up. I want to see because like it doesn't matter. Yeah, they are not. All right, I'm so glad that I found this. Come on. All right. From 2019 to 2025, there have been 1,690 NFL games, meaning 3,380 individual team performances, and only 12 of those have featured 0 penalties for a team. 12. 12 games in 1,690 has a team committed 0 penalties. When, again, the taunting one should have been one. The offsides that he jumps off every time should have been called. Oh, perfect. The game was notable because the Chiefs were the first team since the end of the 2023 season without a single accepted penalty called against them in its 363 NFL games. That's my point. It was prime time, Sunday Night Football, and if the Chiefs lose this game, they go down to 2-4. Tony Sky Roger Goodell cannot let that happen. So he texted up the refs, don't call nothing. Don't call nothing. We gotta. I'm not saying it's not possible, but with the team that gets penalized over and over and over again to have zero, and again, you have Patrick Mahomes, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, and much of these big name people, they can't go down 2-4.
Now,
So that's why there was no penalties called on them.
now, I will say that the decimated secondary for Detroit towards the end of the game did play a huge part of it
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because they just could not stop those wide receivers with what they had for in the back in the secondary. There was no way they were stopping them. But at the same time, again, zero penalties when one clearly was a taunting call, and then one where more than one where he was a false start.
yeah, no, I'm not saying that the penalty or the refs is the only reason why the Chiefs won this game. If a few of those are called, they probably still win this game. But my point is, there's not an NFL team. I don't care how disciplined you are or how well coached you are. You're you're gonna have human error to where you're gonna commit a penalty. And again, we can watch game after game after game. That same right tackle does the same thing almost every play. He false starts. He jumps back so early.
And wasn't there a play where they rushed up to the line after a catch that looked like it wasn't a catch, and replay assistants didn't even bother buzzing down?
Hmm.
Like that's
Jay,
questionable right
J-
there.
Jay, you're not going to tell me that that was not a taunting on Mahomes. You're not going to tell me because that would have been unaccepted penalty there, right there. Because if taunting is such a prominent part of what they're trying to cut back on, and uh, again, Scatabo got called for taunting for saying first down.
And he wasn't flashy about it. He just walked
No, he
by,
just ran by him and said
said first
first
down.
down. Oh well, now, now he doesn't care. What I'm trying to get at is there's penalties that should have been called, and they weren't. That's all I'm going to say. Because it's a bit fishy. Yeah, it's amazing that the one that isn't called is when Mahomes taunted him four times,
Wait,
bumped him.
every crew calls games differently.
He bumped him, spun the ball, flexed on him, did this, wiped his chest, and ran away. I don't care what crew you are. That needs to be called, and I hope maybe Mahomes gets fined for taunting
That ain't
in
gonna
the
happen.
in the upcoming week. But that's ridiculous. That is terrible, terrible officiating. And again, who does it benefit? The Chiefs. Once again, it benefits the Chiefs. So again, they go to 3-3 in the or now in the AFC with a very questionable win. this week. I understand it was by 13 points. And even if they win, or even if some of those are called, I think they still win the game because they did look like a better team. But when certain things are not called, that's when I start raising my eyebrows and wondering what's really going on right now.
Yeah, PI penalties, that's a fucking joke to begin with anyway. I'm not even going to get into that one.
Yes, again, taunting is very subjective, but when there's 4 different actions that could be considered taunting and nothing, that's where I'm like, all right. Like if it was just he spun the ball, I wouldn't even be saying anything right now. But there was 4 separate acts to where it could have been called taunting, and it wasn't. All right, Monday Night Football. There was 2 Monday Night Football games on, and the Bills. What the fuck? They lost 14-24 to the Atlanta Falcons, the same Atlanta Falcons team that lost 30-0 to the Panthers. This season is so weird. It's not even funny. I got to see it consistently. There's no way I can tell you that they are legit. I got to see it. I cannot call a team legit when you lose 30-0 against the Panthers. I can't. I can't say it. And Jay, I saw your ranking video. He has the Steelers at 14, ranked 14th, and the Falcons 13th.
They're legit bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I got to see it consistently. They're still not using Kyle Pitts. That's what we harped on all off season. They are not using Kyle Pitts still. I think he had 4 receptions this game. He didn't do much because 2 players on the offense really did everything this game. But talking about the Bills first, Josh Allen, 15 for 2,600 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 6 carries for 42 yards. Here comes the Josh Allen that is trying to do too much. I understand he doesn't really have a lot of weapons right now. They are out a lot of people at the moment, but that's a lot of teams in the NFL. But Josh Allen, he's been known to do this. He's been turnover prone throughout his career, and it's showing again. I never said that London wasn't. They got to be consistent, though. There is no way I can say they are legit. I got to see it week after week after week. I can't just see it a week here and then they have a dud and then they are good again and they are not that good again and they play good. Like it's got to be a consistent stretch right now. James Cook, 70 carries, 87 yards. Josh Palmer's 2 receptions for 60 yards. I think he went out with an injury as well. Ray Davis, backup running back, and Dawson Knox got a touchdown, and Dalton Kincaid was out with a oblique injury. Now, Falcons, I literally only have 4 players that did really much this game. Michael Penix, 20 for 32, 250 in a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 19 carries, 170 yards, a touchdown, 6 for 68 yards. Tyler Algier, the backup running back, got 32 rushing yards and a touchdown. Drake London, 10 receptions for 158 yards and a touchdown. Again, Falcons looked good. Bills looked bad. I don't know. Again, this needs to be sustained for me to say that they are legit. I don't know about you. I understand that I understand that you were pretty high on the Falcons this year, but again, I can't call the same team that lost 30-0 to the Panthers, even though the Panthers are looking better. I can't call a team that lost 30-0 to them legit.
Same.
Not yet. I can't. I can't do it. I can't. I have to see it week in, week out right now. I can't do it.
Yeah, this Bills team, I don't know what's going on with them. They're just. I don't know if Josh Allen's trying to do too much or what's going on, but they're not looking like the Bills like from last year. And the
No,
defense seems to be getting worse.
that's about I say. A lot of teams' defenses that we thought were going to be pretty good this year have been really underwhelming and not that great. I understand they have a lot of injuries. They had Hamlin, he was out. Matt Milano was out. And they had a few in the game that ended up leaving the game with an injury. So I mean, they got to figure it out because this AFC is a bit weird right now. Again, Steelers and Colts are 1-2 in the in the AFC, which nobody would have ever thought at the beginning of the year.
Not a fucking snowball chance in hell.
Do you think this game was more of the Bills losing it, or maybe the Falcons are really finding their stride?
I think it was more of the Bills losing.
Do you think that this is sustainable for the Falcons, or do you think it's like are you like me that you need to see it more?
I need to see it more because you can't come out and lay a dud against a sub 500 team and then turn around and beat a powerhouse team like the Bills. So I mean, like I said, the Bills have struggled. They lost this what the second game in a row they lost.
Yeah, because they lost to the.
Patriots last week.
hmm All right. I mean, I will say they did play good against the Commanders. So they beat the Commanders and the Bills back to back. They put up 34 against the Commanders and 24 against the Bills. They played the Niners this week, who's a banged up team right now, so they definitely could go 4-2. I'm trying to get all their games and why I can't get it. Hold on. Give me a second. Again, I know they lost to the Panthers 30-0. Week 1 they lost to the Bucks, the 20-23. They beat the Vikings 22-6. Lost to the Panthers 30-0, and they've won these last two 34-27 and 24-14. Again, a lot of young pieces that could gel well, and they are gelling well right now. I mean, think they lost to the Bucks, who are one of the best teams in the league right now, but also their other loss is to the Panthers. Maybe that was just a bad game. Who knows? We will see. If man, I have no problem coming on here and admitting when I'm wrong because I come on here and I love when I'm right. So we'll see. All right. Last game, Bears and Commanders. Bears, last second field goal. Bro, Jay is typing away. Oh my goodness. If you protect the QB and attack the other one and stop the run, that's a recipe to being a great team. Absolutely. I agree 100% with you, but this is a young team. I got to see it consistently. They've done good in the past 2 weeks. Let's just keep it moving. All right, Bears, Commanders, Jake Moody, who was elevated off the practice squad this week, last week, peaked a 38 game-winning field goal for the win. Caleb Williamson, 17 for 29, 252, one touchdown, one rushing touchdown. DeAndre Swift had a great game. 14 carries, 108 yards, 2 receptions for 67 and a touchdown. Luther Burden was the leading receiver for 4 receptions for 51 yards. Commanders and Jaden Daniels, 19 for 26, 211, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 10 carries for 52 yards, and 1 fumble. He's struggling still, but the team's getting wins. That's the difference from last year to this year, with a better head coach than what he had last year. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 17 carries for 61 yards and fumble. Chris Moore had a touchdown, and Zach Ertz got a touchdown. Luke McCaffrey got a touchdown as well. Terry McLaurin did not play with a quadriceps injury. Caleb Williams, we got to remember, is still young. He's a young guy. He's a young kid. He's, again, on his second head coach in 2 years, or his third, technically, because he had the interim head coach last year. Ben Johnson, first-time head coach. I think he's doing pretty well with this team. They have a different energy, a different feel about them than what they had last year. I don't think they definitely don't win this game last year, having Matt fucking dipshit Eberflus as their head coach. Again, there's just a different vibe, a different aura about them right now. And again, Caleb, I think will just continue to get better. Yes, we don't know. He isn't a leader, but maybe that just takes time to develop. Not every QB comes in as a leader of a team. It takes a little bit in the league to get your voice and gain your voice. Not everybody is built perfect. I think he will get better. I think it'll be game by game. No, I'm not saying that at all. Tyson Bagnet, no. Again, Caleb, I think game by game he will get better. Again, having Ben Johnson getting used to him, this offense, this system, it'll look good. The Commanders on a bit of a fall here from grace from being in the NFC Championship game last year. We expect a lot of big things out of them. Losing game after game like this is not good for them right now, especially in the NFC East, where the Cowboys aren't that great, and the Giants are kind of on the way up, and the Eagles are slipping right now. So we shall see. A very sloppy game. It was not great weather conditions, so that's why the Commanders had two very bad fumbles there, and that gave the Bears great field position. So yeah, again, Bears stuck out a win there in Washington against the same team that had the Hail Mary against them last year.
Okay. Let's remember who picked the Bears to beat the Commanders in this game.
Yeah, you're right.
To touch on what Jay said, Williams is struggling. Yes, he's struggling, but here's the thing. They're struggling and they still find a way to win. It's going to take time for Ben Johnson to get Caleb Williams the way he had Jared Goff. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Jared Goff, but remember how when Goff came to the Lions after that trade, his mechanics was all screwed up. Got with Ben Johnson. That became the best offense in the league. So Ben Johnson's gonna take time. The only issue I have with Caleb Williams is his accuracy comes and goes, and I believe Ben Johnson would fix that. As far as being a leader, not all quarterbacks are designed to be leaders. Some are the quiet leaders, some are the get in your face type of leaders. To me, he's coming off as right now as that quiet leader where he's going to say, "Hey, just give me time, and I'm going to take you there." I said, that's my only issue with him is his accuracy. Ben Johnson will get that figured out, and he will become a better quarterback. It's going to take time. Like I said, this is his third quarterback, third coach in
2 years.
not even 2 years, a full season and a quarter of a season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I'm looking at his stats right here. He has 1,179 passing yards. That's 18th in the NFL. That's about middle of the pack, which is all right. It's not bad. Again, Ben Johnson knew what he was getting into. Caleb Williams' mechanics were so bad when he got there. He said that right in front of the media. His feet were terrible.
Exactly.
So he's starting from the ground up with Caleb Williams right now. He has 9 touchdowns. That's tied for 14th, but only 2 interceptions. That is tied for 36th in the NFL. He's not turning the ball over. Yes, Spencer Rattler is playing better than Caleb Williams. I'm not going to say that he's better than him right now. He's playing better than him right now, but in the end, I think Caleb Williams, if he keeps having Ben Johnson as head coach, will get better and better and better and better and better. And he has a 60.4 QBR, which is 15th in the NFL. Again, he's about middle of the pack, but really all that matters right now is his team is winning. His team is winning right now. And again, last year, that was the problem. He was not playing good, and the team was losing. Yes, I still have my questions as well, but I have to give him credit. I think, again, having Ben Johnson is a huge, huge help and is giving him much needed progression, and he's doing really, really good.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
Again, we will see. It's way too early. I don't like casting things on second year players, first year players, third year players. Let's let their career pan out, and we will then see how it goes. Because I don't want to say something and it's absolutely wrong or whatever. But again, he's playing mediocre football. But the big key thing is he's not turning the ball over. 2 interceptions. He's not putting his defense in a bad spot. He is managing the game as he needs to. And again, the 9 touchdowns is again every other stat is middle of the pack. But they don't need him to be super super crazy. In the games where he needs to be, I think he has been. If I go game by game, in the loss to the Vikings, which their defense imploded on itself, they
Yes,
couldn't
it
stop
did.
JJ. So I don't want to blame that loss on him. He had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown on 210 passing yards. He had a total of 268 total yards and 2 touchdowns. In the Lions game, that team just was abysmal. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now. He went 19 for 30, 207, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Again, but that defense sucked in that game. Gave up 52 points. Dallas game, they won 31-14, 19 for 28. He had 4 passing touchdowns in that game. Against the Raiders, they just barely won 25-24, 22 for 37. Not a good percentage, 212. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Again, a mediocre game, but hey, guess what? The team still won. That's what matters right now. And another 25-24. That's weird that in back-to-back weeks they won 25-24. That's very odd. He said 17 for 29, 252, 1 touchdown. And again, he had a rushing touchdown as well. So again, he's playing mediocre football right now. But again, he doesn't need to play crazy, crazy football. So again, just and the team's winning. That's what really matters. Is again in the NFL, that's all you need to do. You got to find ways to win. And last year, they couldn't find ways to win when he was playing around this brand of football, and we saw it last year. But when he was playing about this mediocre football, they were losing because they were very poorly head coached. Now they are being coached by a very smart and intelligent head coach, which is why they're winning this game. Or sorry, these games. All right, I don't know if you have anything else on that.
Nope.
All right. Now on to the pick'ems.
Oh yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah.
You missed Jeff rant on that, Nicole. Holy hell! I didn't have any. I couldn't. Yeah, that was all Jeff. Hey, Brian.
Um. Yeah. I mean, like you just missed it. Jay has other thoughts on it. Again, I don't think they. Again, I don't think the rest were the reason that Chiefs won the game because they did look better as a team in that game, but there was a lot of missed calls and things that should have been called. That just weren't. And yeah, I definitely had my thoughts on that. Um, to say it lightly, I had my thoughts on that game. So, all right, week 7, crazy week 7 already. So, all right, I don't know if you're ready. Are you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
All right. Steelers Bengals. I'm going with my Steelers on Thursday Night Football. I'm off tomorrow, so I get to watch this game, thankfully. So,
Uh,
Steelers, please.
I'm going with the Steelers.
Was that a tough pick for you?
No,
All right. Rams Jags.
Rams.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Puka is dealing with an ankle injury, so that's kind of worrying me. But the Rams still have Adams, and this Jags secondary is really bad. Really, really bad. Sneaky game. Get the fuck out of here. Um, we fucking better not lose this game after I was talking so much about them. Saints and Bears. Again, I'm so high on the Saints right now,
Bears.
or on the Bears right now. I'm going with them. Um, wow. Yeah. See. Yeah. It. Yeah. Yeah. Here I have to watch the playback of it because yeah, I went kind of crazy. This is a shit game. Oh my god. The
Dolphins
people
and
don't even
Browns.
know what to pick. Dolphins and the Browns. It's 50-50 split. Oh my goodness. Um, I wish I could pick a tie.
Browns.
Yeah, the Browns defense is really, really good, and the Dolphins isn't. I think maybe Dylan Gabriel, he has a great game this game. I think.
Because
Um,
even though the offense is trying to find its way, that defense is still
oh yeah, it's elite. It's an elite defense. Patriots Titans. I go with the Patriots. Titans are fucking. They just fired their head coach. Mike Vrabel's back in town. It's
yeah,
going to be a slaughtering.
Patriots.
Uh, Raiders, Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs because Geno Smith sucks. So,
Yeah,
um,
same.
Eagles, Vikings. Um,
I'm going with the Vikings.
yeah. Again, I've kept saying that I'm going to go with the Eagles till they lose, and they've lost 2 straight. So I will go with the Vikings. Coming off a bye week, they're gonna be relatively healthy. I understand that Aaron Jones is still out, but they got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jordan Mason. Uh, I think Carson Wentz is starting again, which I think is the best for them right now. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings this week against the Patriots or against the Eagles. Panthers and Jets. I'm going with the Panthers.
Panthers.
Rico Daddle just keep running the ball like he's been running, and they won't have a problem. Ooh, Giants and Broncos. Sorry, Tony. I am very high on your Giants right now. But I'm going with Bo Nix and the Broncos at home.
I'm still going with my Giants.
Oh, I know you are, but again, I'm very high on them, but they are running a gauntlet right now. They've had a long week, so maybe that helps them. But Broncos again, offense has been struggling, but they got to turn around sometime. Ooh, Colts Chargers. Oh boy. Given the lack of everything that the Chargers have right now, I will lean on the side of the Colts.
Hmm. Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough game. This is a game that we will see if the Colts are for real. Colts, again, as we talked about ad nauseum. Wow, even Jay's picking the Chargers. Wow. Again, Colts secondary is very banged up, but Quentin Johnston for the Chargers is banged up. They're on their third string running back. The Chargers are. It's gonna be a test, but I am going with the Colts. The Colts are gonna screw me here, but I'm going with the Colts right now. I know how it's gonna go, but I don't know. Almost like with the Eagles, I got to see them lose because realistically, the Colts could be 6-0 if that idiot doesn't drop that ball before crossing that goal line. All right, Commanders and Cowboys.
Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going with the Commanders too because even though the Cowboys' offense is number one in scoring, their defense is, I think, also dead last in scoring as well. So I'm going with the Commanders because the Cowboys' defense is that bad. Packers and Cardinals.
Packers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. Cardinals again, they are so beat up. It's not even funny anymore. Like it's really bad for them. Um, Falcons and Niners.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I know. Um, Niners are at home. Falcons clearly don't travel well. Um, I don't know. I this offense isn't consistent enough for
I'm going
me.
49ers.
I'm going with the Niners as well. The offense of the Falcons just isn't consistent enough. I got to see it game in and game out. Oof, the Bucks and the Lions. Monday Night Football. Um, I go my guy Baker Mayfield. Fuck it. This line secondary is so banged up right now, and now with Brian Branch being
Yep.
suspended, I understand that the Bucks are dealing with a bunch of injuries too on their offense, but
I was about to say
but
the bunch of
Baker's
receivers are banged up.
yeah, but Baker keeps getting it done. He is a dog right now, so I'm going with my guy Baker in the Bucks.
My
Come
gut
on,
feeling
Tony,
is
join me. Come
my
on.
gut feeling is saying Detroit.
Is it because they're at home?
Yeah, I gotta go with the Lions at home.
And then the Texans and Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah. And the amount of points, I'll go with 48.
45.
A lot of tough games this week to try and pick. Um, oh yeah, I didn't go over last week's games. I don't know if you had a good week or not. Um,
I had a wonderful week.
yeah, you did better than me. You and my coworker Frankie, you guys both got 100. You picked the Bears, we picked the Commanders. We all picked the Bills. We all picked the Colts. You ended up picking the Titans against the Raiders. Me and Frank didn't. The Chargers. We all picked the fucking Jags. We all picked the Rams. We all picked the Bucks. The Cowboys, Steelers, Patriots, Broncos. We all picked. Me and you picked the Lions last week, but we got that wrong. You picked the Chiefs. Me and Frank picked the Eagles, and you picked your Giants, and it worked out for you. And we all picked we all picked the Packers last week. So again, another weird week for NFL of teams winning and losing.
All I need is one upset. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all you need.
And something told me to pick the fucking Panthers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't know. Oh my gosh. I mean, Rico Dowdle told the media a week before they better strap up. I'm gonna run all over them. And what did he do? He ran all over them.
Mm,
Uh, that Cowboys defense is a joke.
uh,
Yeah, I've got nothing else. I think that's pretty much everything. We talked about everything that you need to be happy that we talk about. NBA is coming back soon, so we'll be having that talk as well.
yep.
Malcolm Brogdon on the Knicks. I think he just retired. Uh, Russell Westbrook just signed with the Kings. But nothing too crazy. And again, it's NBA preseason. I'm not really going to talk too much about it because NFL is a bit more exciting right now. But I will tell you, when the NBA season comes around, I'll be very excited and happy, and we'll be talking about that right here on the Drop Zone podcast.
Yeah, I don't got anything less.
I either
Except
I
for,
just want to sponsors.
yeah, I'll go ahead and do the W sponsor. I'll do the Zone Elite sponsor. Zone Elite one.
All right. Again, thankfully we were still sponsored by Dubby Doobie. They are a what? What was so funny? Me saying thankfully we're still sponsored.
Uh huh.
Thankfully we're still sponsored by Dubby Doobie. They are a energy drink or a supplement company for oh fuck I gotta get it. Give me a second. Um, they are a hold on. Well, that's not it. Wait, yeah, it is. They are a kind of energy drink company. A lot mostly for gamers or working out to give you that boost of energy that you need. Again, take it responsibly, please. Don't sue us. Um, just take it responsibly. Again, there's a bunch of caffeine and a bunch of energy in it, so just be careful when you take it. You get 15%,
10%.
15,
10%.
10% off your order when you use promo code Drop Zone. Uh, yeah, just one thing you can in our Facebook group say that hey, I got it, and just let us know. They have a lot of flavors, shaker cups, and lots of things over there on the website. Go check it out. That'd be our sponsor.
And also remember to check out merchandise store, Zone Elite Wear. It's zoneelitewear.com. We have everything from drop zone merch to just everyday regular merch. With inventory growing, well, it was growing daily, but I kind of slowed down. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to choose from. Um, we got the Jeff's Dummy of the Week shirt,
Mm-hmm.
which he
You
should
know,
be getting any day.
yeah, you guaranteed knowing our luck, it'll show up tomorrow, a day after our podcast. So I gotta wait a whole week.
Well, we can thank Columbus Day for that because there was no mail on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Columbus.
So yeah, and then we got the regular Drop Zone with the new logo, which is the one I'm wearing. We also have the classic one, which I am ordering probably next week, maybe the week after. I gotta see. But yeah, we have tons of merchandise that you could choose from. And like I said, I just put in some cancer awareness stuff because here at the Drop Zone, we're huge on cancer. We're a huge support of getting rid of cancer. And so, it's because that's something that pretty much has hit every single one of us. And yeah, we just want cancer to go away.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you order anything over $35, and if you use the promo code DropZone, you get 15% off your total purchase. And again, that is zoneelitewear.com.
And again, you can send us a picture in our Facebook group, uh, the Drop Zone podcast, on Facebook. You can send us um, a picture of yourself in the merch saying that, hey, I got it, I love it, or whatever. We will be sure to like and comment on that.
Or you could go to the business page, Zone Elite.
Yeah, either one. Just let us know your guys' thoughts and comments, and if you guys have any ideas on what else you could want, Tony will whip it up for you. I I'm I'm not even gonna take credit for any of that shit. He makes all the designs and everything. I'm here to I'm just here. But yeah. So yeah, again, if you guys have any thoughts or comments or any ideas, you can always comment them and Tony will take them into consideration.
There is a cowboy shirt that I did put up there
Mm-hmm.
for all you cowboy lovers.
Mm-hmm. What about Taylor Swift? We got one for her yet?
No, and I never will. That bitch will never, ever have merchandise in my store.
It's unfortunate that we can't like do like a shirt that says like that bitch and it's like her face on it because like she's like a copyrighted thing. So like we get like in trouble for
Trust me, I thought
grabbing her
about it.
face.
Trust me,
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Oh, I
about
know. Oh, I know you did. So
it. And then I was like, do I want to deal with the lawsuit headache?
no.
All right, so yeah, ooh, yeah, I don't got anything else left to say. If you got anything,
No, I don't. Again, everybody, thanks for watching, tuning in. We had a bunch of comments flowing through. Jay, of course, even though me and him disagree, we're still good friends, and that's what I like about him. We can have different opinions on sports, but we still get along quite well. Hope he's recovering well. He did come back to work on Monday and Tuesday for us. Uh, he was definitely a bit sore, so hopefully he is recovering well still. I'm glad to see that you're recovering well, Tony as well. So yeah, again, thanks for everybody for liking, commenting, and again, just make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It is every Wednesday here at the Drop Zone Podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, each and every week. Talk about football and a bunch of other random shit that we could talk about and find to talk about. Uh, but yeah, again, I just wanted to thank everybody for watching and tuning in, and all the support that we continue to get from everybody is really appreciated. And it doesn't go unnoticed for sure.
exactly. So until next week, have a great week, everybody.